Hello, all my caged metal fanatics. Tonight I am here with Eric Shute, partner of Texas Metal Festival, and Miss D. How are you guys tonight?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good.
I am wonderful. All right, so Eric, tell us a little bit about the Texas Metal Festival. What is it about? Who are the partners? And what
Okay.
is your focus on it?
Yeah, well, Texas Metal Festival, it's a world-class 2-day, 2-night all-metal festival led by myself and festival producer Hal Davidson. It's really a model off of the European metal festivals, the open-air events that go on over there all the time, which we don't really seem to have one around here. We do have some like open-air events, but none of them in this type of setup that we have where it's so diverse in all the different categories of metal and open air, 2 days, 2 nights. So a portion of the proceeds will go towards a local organization in Texas to help with education, assisting the youth and the poor in the community. And it's just a great idea, and there seems to be a lot of demand for it, a lot of support that we're getting from Texas and all over the globe, actually, for this event to actually happen. So,
Awesome. Now, Misty, what is your involvement in the Texas Metal Festival?
Misty, you there?
Yes, I'm sorry, I lost you guys for a second.
Okay. Tell her what's your involvement in the event.
I am actually, I got brought on I guess about a week ago as a director of business development. I am actually the person that's going to be in charge of a lot of the Texas alliances for here in Texas, because I'm actually in Houston. I'm going to be working on trying to get the investors in place to be able to make sure that the metal festival takes off with a bang. And then working on very large sponsorships and just basically everything to make the event something to definitely remember. It's definitely going to go down in history books. We don't have anything like this in Houston or Texas, even for that matter, like you said. So we're just really trying to make sure to get all of our ducks in a row and really push forward with it.
Awesome. Now, Eric, what are the dates and where is it located at?
April 11th and 12th is a Saturday and a Sunday of 2015. It's off of FM 681 in the McCook, Texas area. It's about 30 miles north of the McAllen border, which is really ideal because considering Heaven and Hell Fest, you know, ended up not happening due to tyrannical government there in Mexico, it kind of really leaves the Mexican people hanging. So I mean, it's really convenient as far as it's nice area. The crime rate is very low considering it's middle of nowhere, and then it's convenient for the Mexican people to come on over and attend the event. And then we have the McAllen Airport, which is right there. It's about 30 minutes away. So people from all over the globe will be able to fly in, go to the McAllen Airport, and we're also going to be working on providing transportation for these people, to and from the event, whether it be from the airport or to and from the hotels. We're going to be looking to cover all of those bases. This way, everything is really simple for everybody to come to this event and have a good time and also be safe, knowing that they're going to be able to, they spend a whole day and night of, drinking and partying. We're going to be able to make sure they get home safely as well.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how is the festival organized and how long of a process is this?
We've actually done our due diligence. It actually was a year-long process because we were actually working on another event which we would like to actually stage just a few weeks after this event, which Kelly is helping us with as well. But to just stay focused on this event, it took about a year of due diligence, finding the property, making sure we had, as far as the permits and laws, which, there are none, so we can play as loud as we want, as many decibels as we want. And that's where Misty comes in. She's going to be helping us with a lot of the parts there in Texas. My partner Hal, being a festival producer of about 4 decades, we've already got together all the budget sheets, all the planning. I mean, he has really tons of books that he's put together himself, being a professional festival producer and consultant and author. So everything, we're on top of our game.
Awesome. Now,
Misty, did we lose you?
No, I'm getting a little bit of feedback, but I'm still here.
Okay, just to make sure you're still there.
yeah, I was getting ready to ask her a question. All right, now, Misty, what is your involvement with the independent bands, and are you guys going to have independent bands in this festival?
My involvement is from, again, being a Texas promoter here in Houston and Dallas and Austin. Basically what I will be doing is I will be pulling very strong acts here locally that have a very good following here to be able to showcase all of their music and, helping them promote and things like that. We've had discussions about having an after party and actually having them playing the after party. So that way anybody that buys a VIP ticket will be allowed to come into the after party, and it will be nothing but local acts all night. We're working on bringing in some contracts with a few broadcasters to actually come in and be able to broadcast the after party so people can hear it. They know what's going on. They still have an opportunity to be able to buy an extra ticket for the next day for VIP. And be a part of the after party itself, because that's really going to be able to showcase, the indie guys and the local acts here in mostly Texas. There may be a few that end up coming in that are going to be out of Texas, but we're really focusing on the Texas indie bands.
Right.
And we're going to have
That's
a contest
awesome.
as well, where, because we expect to book a lot of big name acts for this event, because we want to focus on really establishing ourselves there in the Texas area and around the globe, putting on a world-class event. But we will have one or a couple slots on the stage. There's going to be one big stage, so we'll actually be able to have, while one band's playing, another one is setting up on the other side, and this way it's going to help reduce time changes, between bands. And we will actually have a contest where bands will actually be able to submit their music, and we will post it, whether it be on our Facebook page or on our landing page, one or the other, and people will be able to actually vote who will be one of the openers for the event. So there's a lot of opportunity here for them as well, not just for the after party, but also for that.
All right, Eric, please give us some information on the crowdfunding campaign.
The crowdfunding campaign, we came up with that idea because there's never been to my knowledge, a community-funded event like this before, and it is actually, unfortunately we haven't sold any tickets on there yet, but that's not really a concern because I understand sometimes people are skeptical, and that's why we're actually totally willing to do these interviews, to be able to talk with the public, answer questions. We're not trying to hide anything. We're completely legitimate and serious about making sure this happens. So we came up with the idea so that people could, if they really want this event, they could fund the event in an early stage while we're also approaching investors, or Misty's approaching the investors, and then they could actually get their tickets early, avoiding the ticket fees, the sales tax, and they can get it at 1/3 off the price. This will help us to actually book more bigger acts. It'll just help us immensely with a lot of the things that we need. Now, one of the things that we're actually going to do as we're actually approaching investors is we're going to allow the crowdfunding campaign to run the entire 60 days. And if we get our investor beforehand, before it ends, then people will still have the opportunity to purchase their tickets and VIP passes early at that discounted rate. But once that crowdfunding campaign is over, then that's it. Now, another thing that could happen is that people could, get a chance to listen to these interviews and see that we're actually very serious about putting this together, that a single dollar is going to be wasted from the crowdfunding campaign. So if we raised only, let's say, $10,000 on the campaign, that will still allow us to get some of the things done that we need for the event, and we are planning a year in advance. So we have plenty of time to get this done. Now, and we will honor those tickets at our special will call, where the campaign contributors will be able to come in and have take advantage of an express entry. If the people, let's say we raised $175,000, we reached our goal, then what we would do is we would still continue on with the event and also continue on with approaching investors, because there's still more money that needs to be, for us to put on a world-class event, it costs more than $175,000. We can put this event on for $175,000, but we would do it at a lesser level than what we really want to do if we had, let's say, $650,000. You figure this, the larger the acts, the more bigger name acts that we want, the more money that is going to be needed for them in the deposits and then the other cost. Better quality equipment, things like that. So what we're basically doing here is we're building an entire city here in the middle of a field where it's just flat land right now. So it costs a lot of money to do that, but we put the 175 as the bare minimum, and then we'll have sponsors that will come in with extra monies that will go towards putting more together. So.
Awesome. Misty, could you shed some light on the proposed band lineup?
The proposed band lineup? I can. Give me 2 seconds. Right now we are looking, and our wish list is going to be Hatebreed, Testament, Nightwish, Camelot, Cannibal Corpse, Trivium, Suicide Silence, Seven Dust, Steel Panther, Machine Head, Emperor, Suffocation, Amon Amarth, Carcass, Obituary, Lacuna Coil, Devil Driver, The Black Dahlia Murder, Dying Fetus, Cryptopsy, Nader Sadik, Behemoth, Dark Funeral, Devourment, and Satricon.
Wow, that's an amazing lineup.
Yeah, and the band list is subject to change. Should the band schedules conflict, or maybe they just they're too busy recording. Whatever, anything happens. I mean, we still have a whole other list of bands readily that we would love to approach for this event. So no matter what, I mean, people can get, and that's one reason why we're actually throwing out this wish list early right now. Even though they're not confirmed, but people will get an idea of exactly what they're getting into if they decide to come in early funding the event. Because we're only looking to bring out some of the best and a very diverse lineup. It's really kind of modeled after like Wacken or Resurrection Fest or Metal Days, any of those other European festivals where it's just very diverse.
Awesome, awesome. Now, what criteria was used to make the selection of the bands? That's such a huge selection, and I've heard quite a few of them myself.
Their quality, also how big they are as far as what they're going to draw. I mean, some of these bands are some of my favorite bands personally. So. I picked out really what I like. There's a few bands on there that I don't follow, but it's not always just about me. It's about what the fans like as well. So
now, will there be like food vendors and other vendors involved in this?
Yes, we do actually have sponsors. One vendor sponsor waiting actually right now. I cannot name drop because we don't have a contract yet. They haven't came on board, but they have several restaurants in the area. I'll put it like that. Yeah, and they have really good food from what I'm hearing, not just from people in the area, but from people in the area. Yes.
Well, from somebody from Texas, I will put in there that I actually went to school down there, so I know firsthand that their food was fantastic.
Awesome. Sounds amazing.
So we're gonna,
Now,
yeah, they're gonna
will
be there providing breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
wow, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, is there going to be beer and other drinks too as well?
Yes, we do have. We are actually they will be providing that, yes, but I cannot drop the names yet
Okay.
because we don't have a contract.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
everything's to be announced
But
as
we're
far
looking to
as
provide top quality food and beverage. Well, like that. We're not
awesome.
trying to do anything cheap here.
Awesome. So no hot dogs and hamburgers, huh?
There will be,
I'm just
of course,
kidding.
we will have the simple stuff available as well, but there will be other, much more cultural food. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. I'm just kidding, guys.
Yeah, considering Hidalgo County, is about 90+% Mexican. You know, we want to also stick with what they have.
Yummy tacos. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Everybody in Texas wants that kind of food.
My kind of food too. All right. And how about promotion to the other countries?
Social media, zines. Social media is really key, and then word of mouth. There's lots of different marketing techniques that we'll be utilizing to reach all these other areas, and we're actually already doing that now.
Right. I just created an event on ourcitygogo.com, and all of the cities within our network have come into action, and it's posted on every single site within ourcitygogo.com. Now, how
Great.
about in Mexico? Where and how will you promote there?
We do have some people down there in Mexico right now. Faces of Metal, which is a Mexico online radio station. They've actually been promoting the event down there already. We also do have another girl down there. Her name is Alexandra, who is going to actually be our spokesperson at the event during the set changes, introducing the bands. She's from Mexico, and she's also bilingual. So she's actually also helping us with that as well.
So, Misty, what kind of festival would you compare this to?
The closest thing I could possibly think that people would be able to know and understand and have probably been to would be probably like the Rockstar Mayhem festivals and some of the big rock festivals that we have here. They're usually a lot more generalized with the style of music that they put in there. This is going to be a little bit more genre appropriate, I guess. But I would say that's probably the closest thing we have, and that's really not even touching. I mean, this festival and everything that's going into it, I just really feel like it's a lot more like the festivals you see in Europe. You know, it's not something that we have here.
Awesome. So, would you guys consider this like the Woodstock of metal?
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Our plan actually is to, with this property, we're starting off with 500 acres. There's actually over 3,000 acres, but we're starting off with 500, and we can actually even expand, and we want to hold up to 5 festivals a year here at this location. And so this will be a festival home, which we don't have right now in America. I mean, you have these other festivals that go on, but they're usually they're at different venues, and even the venues can often change. But we don't have one area where it's just strictly festivals all year round, and that's what it's devoted to.
Awesome. Awesome.
And then we also plan on doing, and this is one thing that we actually discussed with Misty when she was coming on board, is she has an interest in actually helping more of the up-and-coming Texas metal bands. So once this thing is launched and it's a success, we'll be able to devote some time to actually helping her with the local Texas metal scene as well, putting on some other events just for the indie bands.
Right. It's very important to support your local bands for sure.
Absolutely.
And that's what we do here at Our City Radio. We are completely independent
Great.
And that's what I love about it. So, and where do people stay at?
There is actually about 80 hotels within 40 minutes of the event. So we expect all those hotels to actually sell out during that weekend.
So you better get your hotel quick, huh?
Yeah, because we're not going to have camping this year. We may do that for the next year, but right now that's not something that we're looking to do basically for liability reasons.
Right, right. And what about transportation to and from the festival?
Oh, well, Misty, is that something you're going to be helping us with?
Slightly, yes.
Slightly, yes. So we're going to have buses or vans that will be able to just go back and forth all day to bring people to and from the event.
As part of what
Awesome.
we're bringing in for the hotel accommodations and putting those names out there, as part of bringing that funding and that, I guess, boost of the economy down there in Hidalgo County, a lot of the hotels have already heard about it, and they're already contacting us and basically offering their support for the show, or the festival, I'm sorry. A lot of them already have their own bus shuttles that'll go back and forth between their hotel and the site itself. And then we've also got other, I want to say the airport as well, one of the airports that has contacted us said that they also have several shuttles that they would be more than willing to offer out for the weekend to take people back and forth between the hotels and, the airport and the site itself and that kind of thing. And there's quite a few local limo services that I know that have contacted me personally asking if there is anything that they can do to help out. Don't know if there's going to be a cost involved for the patron or not, but we're still kind of in negotiations with that, but there's definitely going to be transportation.
Awesome, awesome. Now, what about your guys' team and your experience with working events?
Misty, I'll let you go first.
Again, I'm from Houston, so basically what I do is I work a lot with the indie bands, like you said. I put on quite a few festivals. I am the founder of the Life Support Project, which is a cancer support group. We have a lot of resources. We put on a lot of benefits and really help families that, are going through cancer to actually make sure that as they're going through treatments and things like that, that they don't end up on the streets and whatnot. By me putting on benefits, it really led me into really pushing forward with a lot more events and shows. So I work with several people here in Houston, work with a couple different people in Dallas. So it's across across most of, I would say, Central Texas-ish. Just putting on shows, being out there, supporting the scene, helping promote the shows and promoting the bands itself and getting them to the point of actually realizing that it's a business and handling themselves appropriately.
Now, are you guys going to have security up there as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Safety first, guys.
Yeah, you have a lot of people drinking all day and night. We definitely want to make sure that that they're safe.
Okay. And now, Eric, do you want to enlighten us about the teamwork?
About the what?
About the teamwork?
Teamwork?
Yeah, you said that you were going to let her go first, and then you were going to interact.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, Hal actually has been a festival producer of about 4 decades. 38 years ago, he put together Stompin' 76, which was a bluegrass festival, which had a turnout of 150,000 people. Since then, he's actually worked on putting together several events. He's helped build a company that sold for a couple $1 million. He was also a Ringling Brothers promoter. He's also a very sought-after consultant and author globally by producers. He's put together a few books that are sold on Amazon that sell for like around $450+ Misty actually got his book. To my understanding, you got his book before we actually even started talking. Is that right?
Yes, I did actually. I booked it, or I bought the book, and then I want to say it was about a week later, I got a phone call, and the next day my book showed up.
And then she actually ended up hearing about the festival, and then I guess